Listen carefully. This is an attack. This is clarity. You don't keep starting over because you're weak. You keep starting over because you don't stay long enough for the work to change you. You start strong. New routine, new mindset, new promises to yourself. You wake up early. You feel focused. You feel motivated. For a moment, you feel like this time is different. And then something happens. The excitement fades. The routine feels repetitive. The progress feels slow. The results don't show up fast enough. And suddenly, what once felt exciting now feels heavy. That's where most people quit. Not because they can't continue, but because they expected growth to feel better than this. Here's the truth no one prepares you for. Real growth is boring. It's unglamorous. It's repetitive. It's quiet. And it doesn't care about your feelings. You keep starting over because you confuse intensity with progress. You think being fired up means you're changing, but intensity is emotional. It burns hot and it burns fast. Consistency is cold, steady, relentless, and consistency is what builds identity. Let me say this clearly. Intensity feels powerful. Consistency makes you powerful. Every time you quit and restart, you train your mind to believe something dangerous. You teach yourself, I don't finish. I fall off. I always have to reset. And the mind learns patterns quickly. If quitting becomes familiar, it becomes automatic. That's why restarting feels so easy. It gives you relief, a clean slate, a fresh excuse, a reason not to face the middle. Because the middle is uncomfortable. The middle is where the work is no longer exciting, but not yet rewarding. The middle is where discipline is built, and most people never survive it. People don't fail at the beginning. Beginnings are easy. They fail in the middle, when no one is watching, when progress is invisible, when motivation disappears. In the middle, emotions start talking. They say, this isn't working. You deserve a break. You can restart later. You've already done enough. And without standards, emotions win. Standards don't negotiate. Standards don't care how you feel. Standards say, this is what I do. This is who I am. I finish. You don't need a better plan. You need fewer exits. Every time things get hard, you give yourself permission to disappear. And that permission is costing you years. Let me be direct. If you keep restarting, you'll keep reliving the same year, with different dates, same frustration, same disappointment, same conversations with yourself. How am I still here? Why am I not further? Why can't I stay consistent? Progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from continuity. Messy effort beats perfect quitting, every single time. Strong people are not special. They're just tired of restarting. They reached a point where they said, no matter how I feel, I'm not starting over again. That decision changes everything. Because once restarting is no longer an option, you adapt. You stop relying on motivation. You stop chasing excitement. You start building discipline. Discipline isn't doing more. Discipline is not stopping. Not when it's boring. Not when it's uncomfortable. Not when quitting feels reasonable. Especially not then. Here's something important. You don't need motivation tomorrow. You need standards tonight. Standards that say, I show up even when it's boring. I don't disappear when it's hard. I don't reset my life every time it gets uncomfortable. This is the real grind. Not hype, not speeches, not emotional highs, but quiet repetition. Day after day, rep after rep, choice after choice. This is how identity is built, not in dramatic moments, but in silence, in boredom, in resistance, when no one is watching. So here's your reset, not a restart, a decision to stay. Stay with the routine. Stay with the discomfort. Stay when quitting feels logical, because that's where the change happens. You don't need to start over. You need to keep going. Decide that, and don't negotiate again.